Okay, so welcome everybody. I hope you are all doing well and getting ready for the big Thanksgiving holiday. We will try and be sure to address digestive issues today and after Thanksgiving as well. Make sure we work the abdominal muscles and the core, and you get ready so you make space to enjoy your turkey and fixings. So make sure you're sitting comfortably. If anyone is new to my class, my name is Susan, and I always encourage you to listen to my instructions, but don't feel that you have to look exactly like what you see on the screen. Really adapt any of the movements if you need to be more comfortable in your body. Okay, so it's good to listen and then just try to follow the instructions as best your body can. If you need a rest at any point, that's fine. Just take a little break and then you can always come back and join. So take a moment now just to feel your breath. Try to sit up really tall. You might want to bring your hands to the very top of your thighs and just lightly press the thighs down, creating a little more lift up through your torso. So you want to keep that length, that space up through the sides of the ribs and the backs of the ribs, so that when we sit up tall, we're not just sticking the chest out. Notice how your breath is flowing today. If it's possible, breathe through your nose, both in and out. If you need to breathe through the mouth, that's okay, but it is recommended in yoga that we breathe through the nose. And most importantly, stay aware of what you're doing. So try to pay attention to how you're breathing and how things feel, rather than just going through it mechanically. So get your feet nice and anchored on the floor and take a moment to circle your shoulders, taking your time to feel that motion, noticing if there are any pops or creaks. No judgment, just letting yourself feel your own body. And then coming to sit tall, turn your head side to side. And as your head comes back to center, shift to lifting and lowering, chin up and chin down. And again, returning to center, tip your left ear towards your left shoulder and try to keep facing directly forward, but letting your ear drop down. You can also stretch your right arm out to the side. Breathe and come back up to center. Let's go the other way. Left ear towards the left shoulder. And I'm sorry, right ear, your right ear. So I'm doing things like a mirror image. I try not to get mixed up, but sometimes I do. So your right ear towards right shoulder and left arm stretching out to the side a little bit and breathing. Good, bring your head up. Let's go back to the first side. So left ear, it's going to be one of those days. Left ear to the side, right arm can stretch down, but now we're going to add a little turn of the head. So turning to look slightly down, keeping your ear to the side. And then pivoting to look slightly up towards the ceiling. So we get into all three strands of the muscles at the neck. And gently come back up. Let's do the other side again. So right ear to the side, left arm reaching down, and then turning your nose towards the floor a little bit and up towards the ceiling slightly. And coming back to center. Circle your shoulders a few more times as I move to my other chair for further warm-ups. So check that you're not leaning into the back of your chair. So walk a little forward on the chair seat, separate your feet slightly apart, toes pointing directly forward, rooting down. And if you press into your feet, you may feel your abdominal muscles engage slightly. So that's a little helpful hint if you feel like you're collapsing. Press down through your feet as well as your thighs. Okay, let's warm up our spine now with some cat and cow movements of the back. So rounding the spine, you'll draw the belly button towards your spine, tuck your tail under, and just let your head relax. And then to arch, roll your shoulders back. You can hold the edges of the seat and try and lift your chest and bring it forward, looking up slightly. Good, so we'll alternate those movements. Rounding back, curved spine, and arching up. And again, rounding back, and arching up. One more time, rounding back, and arching up. And then return to the center. We're going to take that right arm and reach it up overhead. You can hold the left side of your chair with your hand. And reaching that right arm overhead, try to keep the shoulder relaxed. We're going to tilt a little bit. So let your whole upper body slant a little to the left. Reach through the right fingers. Press down through the right sitting bone. And then feel your breath. So when we're in any kind of extended position, you may notice it's a little harder to breathe. You have to put a little more effort into each full breath. Be sure you breathe both in and out every time. And come on back to center. Good. Let's do the other side. Left arm reaching up, shoulder stays relaxed. You extend through the fingers as you tilt a little bit to the right. Reach through the left hand, root down through the left sit bone. And then gently coming back up, release the arm. Bring your feet and your legs close together. So as we move into a twist, we stabilize the lower body and try to move from the waist up. So you can slide your right hand along the side of the chair, maybe even behind you. Left hand coming across the right knee, sit really tall, and then turn your waist, your chest, and finally your head. And you can use your arms to help give you a little deeper twist. Pressing gently into the hand that's touching the knee and the hand that's touching the chair. And then unwind and breathe. The other side, left hand sliding back, right hand across, sit tall and then turn waist, chest, and head follows, and breathe. And slowly unwind. As you get back to center, walk your feet out a little bit wider than the legs of the chair. And rooting down again through the upper thighs. Try just rocking forward on your sitting bones. And you may start to feel this stretch in the upper thighs. A bit of a seated version of leaning goddess pose as you tilt forward, but keep the back long. So we'll be meeting in this position in our seated sun salutation. And for those, if you're not concerned about osteoporosis or any other spinal issues and you want to bow farther, you're welcome to do that. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's add a little twist to that forward tilt. So I'm going to bring the right shoulder forward and kind of in between towards this midline. And then come up to center. And then bring the left shoulder in towards the midline. And come up. And once again, right shoulder coming forward and down, and back upright, and then left shoulder tilting in and coming up. Good. So for our sun salute, we move with the breath. So each action is accompanied by either an inhale or an exhale. So we're going to start with the palms together in front of your heart. Take a full breath in and let it out. Next, inhale, let your arms sweep out and then up. And as you exhale, come forward, bowing as much or as little as you want. As you inhale, let's all meet in that flat back. Exhale, just relax your head and neck. And next inhale, let the arms sweep out and up. Bring the palms together overhead. As you exhale, glide the hands down to your heart. Take a full breath in, let it out. Let's repeat that sequence. Inhaling up, exhale to bow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, head and neck soften. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, palms to heart. Full breath in and out, adding another piece. We'll inhale to cactus. Exhale, tilt. Inhale up. Tilt the other way on the next exhale. Then twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath in and out. And let's go from the beginning. Inhaling, stretch up. Exhale to bow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, head and neck relax. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to cactus. Exhale, tilt. Inhale up and tilt. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center and twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath in. Once again, those two segments. Inhaling up and exhale to bow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, soften. Inhale all the way up and exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, tilt. Inhale up and tilt. Inhale up. Twist. Inhale, center and twist. Inhale, center, hands to heart. Full breath in and out. Let's add the next piece. We'll inhale, right arm up, back of your left hand, inside the left leg, and glide the arm down against your leg as you look up. And then inhale, rise up, switch the arms. Right arm glides down on the inner leg. You look up. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, palms to heart. Full breath in, putting it all together now. Inhale up. Exhale to bow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, soften. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, tilt. Inhale up and tilt. Inhale up. Twist. Inhale, center and twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, right arm up, back of the left hand down. Slide against the leg as you look up and come up. Switch the arms. Next exhale, slide the other hand down. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath in and out. Once more from the beginning. Inhaling up. Exhale to bow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, soften head and neck. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, tilt. Inhale up and tilt. Inhale up. Twist. Inhale, center and twist. Inhale, center. Hands to heart. Inhale, right arm up, back of the left hand down, slide against the leg as you look up. Inhale, come up and switch the arms. Other side, slide, slide, up. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more big breath in, sweep the arms out and up. And exhale, open the arms, float them out and down. Good. You can pause here, let the feet walk in towards each other. Take a moment to just breathe. And gently bring your fingertips to your shoulders. We did a lot of stretching up in that sun salute. Let's make some circles with your elbows. And then try reversing the circles. Back to front. Good, and then just circle your wrists. And reverse the circles. Stand your arms all the way out. Hopefully you have space. Right? Try not to bump into any other furniture. Let's circle the arms all the way around, 2 times in each direction. Up, back, and down, and then reverse. Back, out, up, and down, back, out, up, and down. Good. I'll give those shoulders a little rest. Move down to our legs. So if you need a little break, if you need to lean back in your chair, you're welcome to do that. Right? For this next warm up of the leg, the foot, the ankle, it's okay for you to just kind of give your upper body a rest. So bring your right foot off the floor and make some nice big circles, like you're drawing a big letter O with your toes. And then reverse the circles. And flex and point that foot a few times. Good, and then bring that foot down. Start with the foot flex. We're just going to tap the foot, the toes. So lift the toes off the floor and then quick little taps. Start to feel this in your ankle or even in your calf. Okay, that's enough of that. So it's amazing how quickly you may feel that in your leg. Okay. Let that foot rest. Let's lift the left foot and circle at the ankle. And reverse. And then flex and point a few times. Good, bring that foot down. And now lift the toes. And so that's a deep flexion of the ankle with the heel on the floor. And just keeping the heel down, lightly tap the front of the foot. And when you start to feel it, you can stop before I do. That's always okay. And let's all stop. Good. All right. Let the soles of your feet come towards each other. Let your knees just flop open for a moment. So relaxing those ankles, relaxing the feet, relaxing the legs. And as we move on, bring your feet back to the floor, slightly apart, parallel, ankles directly beneath your knees. So try to come away from the chair back now. It's helpful to sit a little more forward in the seat. If you find you're collapsing and you just need some more support to sit up away from the chair back, you can use your hands on the edges of the seat, pressing lightly down will help engage your core and create that length in the sides. Okay, so that's always available. All right, let's flex that right foot again. And we're going to slide the heel back under the chair as far as it'll go. And then extend that leg out straight. And then repeating, sliding the heel back, flexing, and then extending. Foot stays flexed. And that helps to protect the knee joint. When we keep the foot flexed, it activates the muscles in the leg that help support and surround the knee. One more time, hold the leg out this time and breathe. And then gently release. Other side. So flexing the left foot, going to slide the heel back under the chair and then extend the leg straight, keeping the thigh on the chair. So we're never lifting, never moving above the knee. It's just flexion and extension at the knee joint. Lower leg moves, foot stays flexed. One more time, hold the leg extended and breathe. And then gently release. Rock a little side to side. Let's feel those bones at the bottom of your pelvis, sitting bones. See what it's like when you shift to one side or another. And then try to find the place where you're centered on both. Now, staying as centered on the sit bones as you can. I'm going to lift the right leg and interlace the fingers underneath that thigh. So the leg, you can just lift it, right? We use automatic muscles to not even think about it. But once you've interlaced your fingers under that leg, instead of picking the leg up, let it drop into your hands. So your leg is heavy. And now your hands and your arms are what are lifting the leg a little bit and making some easy circles. So working into the hip joint and then change the direction of the circles. But as you come back to center, try to lift that leg as high as you can, hugging the thigh in towards your chest. You may want to switch the clasp of your hands to around the knee or the shin, and then flex both feet. So the left heel can stay pressing into the floor. Try to draw your navel towards your spine at the same time that you try and draw your chest up, shoulders hugging back, so you're sitting really tall. Deep breaths, even though you're using your core muscles, and then option, if you want, try lifting the left leg, extending it straight out, and breathing as you hold here. Be sure not to hold your breath. Right? Release the pose if you find you're straining. But let's all release now. And shake out your hands, wiggle the fingers. And we'll do the other side. So lifting the left leg, interlace under the thigh, but then let the leg drop down. Try and feel the weight. Your leg's pretty heavy, so you don't have to move it a lot. It's just a little circling action. So we help lubricate that hip joint, ball and socket. Good, and then reverse the direction. And as you bring that knee in towards the middle, lift it as high as you can. Change the clasp of your hands if that's comfortable. Flex the feet and tone the belly. Navel hugging towards the spine, lifting the chest, shoulders hug back. So not leaning into the chair. Try to really support this pose using your abdominal muscles. It helps if you keep your right foot on the floor. That will also give you more support. But you really work your abdominals if you add the lift of the right leg, stretching it out straight, breathing deeply. Good, and then gently release, shake out your hands, wiggle your fingers, big sweep of the arms out and up. And exhale, float the arms out and down. Good, circle the shoulders. We don't want to tense up there as we work on our lower body. Okay, let's take that right leg. I'm going to open wide to the side, but try not to turn your upper body. So we're just opening from the hip, opening out and coming back to center. Again, center, and once more, and center. Good, other side. Opening that left hip and bringing it back. Open and back. Open and center. And once more, open and center. Good. Coming to open that right side again. But now we're going to stay at the front edge of the chair. And once you open to the side, slide your hips over towards the left so that your right thigh rests along the front edge of your chair. You're opening your chest to face forward. So the tendency is for your body to turn to the right along with that right leg. We want to keep the chest really open for these next few poses, right? And it feels a little twisty, takes a little more effort. You can keep your left foot just where it is. If you want to try a little more challenging position, walk that left foot out to the left and a little forward. So you want to keep the sole of the foot on the floor, turning the leg slightly in. So that foot is slightly pigeon-toed, both feet on the floor, one way or another. Sit up really tall. Imagine you're standing on the feet and lifting up through your body. Let's take a breath in, open the arms out wide, palms up, nice open gesture, and then gently turn just at the wrist, palms down. Gazing to your right for seated warrior 2 pose. Breathe. Good, bringing your left hand to your hip or your thigh, turn the right palm up and stretch that right arm to the sky, maybe even arching, looking up a little bit. Then bend that right elbow, stretch your torso towards the right and bring your forearm to rest on your right thigh. So try to open your chest. Don't let your upper body turn towards the floor. Try to keep your head in line with your shoulders and your tailbone. Breathe here. An optional additional stretch, left arm to the ceiling, or maybe even alongside your left ear. And breathe. Good, and then gently bring your arm down. Rest both hands on your right thigh and start to turn your body. So relax that back leg, let the knee drop towards the floor. And now you're turned completely to the right. The left knee is bent, hanging towards the floor. You're sitting really tall. Taking a couple of breaths here, you may feel some stretch in the front of that hip and thigh. And then lean a little forward. Walk your left toes back behind you, tucking them under. See how far you can slide that foot back as you lean forward. And then pause. Lengthen your tailbone. So imagine your tailbone trying to reach down towards the floor and drawing your low belly in and up so that you curl up from the bottom of your torso, lifting up through the chest at the end, but not just crunching the low back. Take a breath, inhaling the left arm out and up, and then maybe reaching overhead a little bit. Inhale, open that arm out. Exhale, reach up and slightly overhead. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, reaching up and over. And then gently bow forward. Slide the left foot back in. And scoot towards the back of the chair. So we're still facing the side. I'm going to end this sequence, long sequence on this side. I'll give you a break in between. We're going to twist now using the back of the chair. So you'll be turning away from the screen. Right hand can rest on the chair back. You're going to slide that hand across and bring your left hand over. Keep your legs hugging together, and then use your hands to help you turn your upper body, looking towards the back of your chair, breathing. Stay long through your spine. Crown of the head lifting up away from your tailbone. One more breath here. And then as you gently unwind, make your way back to the front of the chair. Sit back for a moment if you need a little pause. Just feel your breath. So we did a whole lot of things in a row on that side. You may feel some difference in the two sides of your body, but we'll even you out. Okay, so moving to the other side now. We're going to first sit forward in the chair, open the left leg to the side, and then slide the hips back a little to the right. Left thigh is near the front edge of the chair. Left foot is pointing to the left, right foot facing forward, and torso facing forward. Again, right foot can stay where it is, or you can try walking that foot. I like to kind of heel toe, because I'm on a sticky mat here, so it doesn't glide. But you end with the toes turned slightly in, and the leg as straight as possible. Now, if you go out to the side and your knee is still very bent, wiggle your foot farther forward, and that should allow you to straighten the leg. We want to anchor through the thigh, but let the foot come as far as we need it to straighten. Breathe. Good. Next, inhale. Take a big breath. Open the arms wide, palms up. And then exhale. Gently turn at the wrist. Try to keep your torso centered, right? So you're not leaning to the left or the right, but turn your face to the left. Looking out past your left fingers, but still stretching back through your right arm. Breathing deeply. And then gently bringing your right hand to the thigh or the hip. Turn the left palm up. Stretch that left arm up towards the sky. And breathe. And then bending the left elbow. Going to extend sideways. You're facing forward, but reaching your torso to the left. Forearm on your left thigh. Hug that elbow back. That'll help you bring the shoulders and head back in line with the rest of your body. Breathe. And then, if you want, reaching the right arm to the sky, or maybe bringing it closer to your ear. Full deep breaths. And then bring your arm down, bring your both hands onto your left thigh. Relax that back leg, let the knee bend, and then turn your whole body to the left, letting that right knee drop down towards the floor. So start just sitting up tall here with the right knee dropping straight down from the hip, breathing into any stretch you feel in the front of the thigh or the hip, and just feeling that. And then try gently leaning a little bit forward over your left thigh and see if you can walk your right foot farther back. Now be sure you end with the heel up in the air. You don't want to twist that ankle. So the toes are tucked under, the heel is off the floor, and you can try pressing it back behind you to straighten that leg some more. But breathe. Feel how you're leaning on the front thigh. We're going to try and bring our torso up away from that thigh, not by lifting our head and shoulders, but by hugging your navel back, in and up, curling up vertebra by vertebra from the bottom of your spine until your chest lifts, your head lifts. And then with an inhale, you can sweep that right arm out and up overhead, exhaling it, reaching towards the back of your chair. Inhale, open, And exhale, reach up and over. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, reaching up and over. And then as you release that right arm down, lean a little forward, relax the right leg, slide it in, and scoot to the back of your chair. So we're still facing the side. Left hand can rest on the chair back. Sit as tall as you can, legs and feet close together. And we start to twist to the left hand sliding back, right hand coming around to hold the chair, and use your arms to turn your upper body towards the back of your chair. Breathe as deeply as you can here in the twist. And very gently unwind yourself. Come back to face forward. Sit back in your chair. Just let go for a moment. Little pauses to just let everything come back to its resting place. Slowing your breath down, slowing your heart rate a little bit. All right. So we're going to come away from the chair back one more time. Now, I'm going to turn to the side to show you this next stretch for the shoulders. If you have space behind you, you can just bring the hands behind. But I'm going to try and interlace your fingers behind your back. And elbows can be bent. First, you want to really just lift up through your ribs and then try to pull the arms back farther. So you might want to press the palms together and then reach the knuckles back and down, lifting and feeling the stretch across the top of your chest. And then gently release. Shrug the shoulders a little bit. Sitting forward in your chair, rest your left forearm across both thighs. Turn your right palm up, and we're going to draw that right elbow way back behind you, but try not to turn your body. So keeping the elbow lifted, straighten that arm back and then bend. Straighten and bend. Repeating several more times. This is working the triceps, the back of the upper arm. One more. And release. Let's do the other side. So leaning onto the right forearm, turn the left palm up, draw the elbow way back, and then straighten the arm, keep the elbow high, bend, and straighten. Keep breathing, try not to turn your torso. It's just movement similar to what we did with our lower leg, extending and bending, right? One more. And release. Big breath in. And relax. This time as you inhale, shrug your shoulders way up towards your ears. And release. Good. Let's inhale, interlacing the fingers. Exhale, press the palms out, draw the navel back, rounding the back, and then big breath in, stretching up. And exhale, float the arms out and down. Good. All right. Let's give a little bit of, let's talk some turkey. Since Thursday is Thanksgiving, we're going to talk a little turkey. So bring your hands kind of to your armpits. Okay, got to create our wings here. And we're going to flap our wings. Okay, so let those turkeys fly. Good. And since flying turkeys look pretty silly, let's add a little sound. And big breath and let it out. Okay, that's our turkey trot. Take a moment and breathe. All right. So while your arms rest a little bit, let's take that right knee and just kind of drop it out to the side. And then lift your right foot. And try to bring the right heel on top of the left thigh near the knee. But if that's too much for you to lift up, extend your left leg and just rest the heel in front of the shin. Let the knee drop open as far as you're able. If you want, once you start here, you can slide the heel up higher. And if your heel comes above the knee, you can bend that left knee as well. Right, it's going to deepen the stretch. You should be feeling something in your right hip. Sitting tall, keep that right foot rather flexed, right? So that, again, that's protecting the knee joint. You can hold one hand on your right knee, the other on the right foot, the sole of the foot, and really sit up tall. Good. Any amount you can, try tilting a little bit forward, but no rounding. So keep your back long. Right? Just hinging a little at the hip joint and breathing into the stretch. Very good. Gently unwind and breathe. And then take a moment and see if you can cross right leg all the way over left at the knee. If that's too much, just cross at the ankles. So hug the legs close to one another, wherever they are. Right? Even the lower legs squeeze in, thighs are hugging in. Open your arms out wide into cactus. And then as you bring the elbows towards each other, try to slip that left elbow above, right elbow down, left elbow higher, and wrap the forearms, or just press the backs of the hands together. Okay, breathe. Move the elbows over to one side, back to center, over to the other side, back to center. Big breath in, reaching up. And as you exhale, let the elbows come down towards your knees, look past your fingertips, and then release the arms. Stretch them out, release the legs, and breathe. Back to neutral, and then we'll do the other side. So let the left knee just kind of flop out to the side. Lift the foot and flex it. So you can start with the right leg extended and just bring your left heel in front of the shin. See if you can slide the heel up above the knee and still keep that left knee opening wide. And if you get to that, then you can try bending the right knee, foot on the floor. One hand can rest on the sole of your right foot and the other outside the knee. So you just kind of give yourself a little stability with your hands on the leg, keeping the knee wide, sitting as tall as you can, and possibly any amount you're able to, coming slightly forward with a flat back. So keep your head upright, keep your chest lifted, and of course, keep breathing. Good. And uncross for a moment, just let that go. Coming next into our eagle pose. So I'm gonna cross my knee, left knee over right, or you can cross left ankle in front of right ankle, but either way, hug the legs close together. Inhale, arms out wide in cactus. Exhale, this time left elbow comes below the right. Cross over if you can, otherwise you just keep the palms and the forearms hugging. If you can bring left under right and then either press the backs of the hands together or wrap the fingers around so you can intertwine the forearms. Breathe deeply, lift the elbows a little bit, slide them over towards one side And then over towards the other. Come back to center, take a big breath in, reaching up. And as you exhale, draw the elbows down towards your knees. Try to peek out past your fingertips. And release. Inhale, arms reach out. Exhale, float the arms down, feet back to the floor. Take a few easy breaths. So we're going to be coming up to stand, do some standing poses and working a little unbalanced. If that's not right for you, you can stay seated and just kind of watch what we're doing and imagine your body doing those things, or just rest and relax until we meet there for the ending of our class. So I'm going to come to the front edge of my chair and walk my feet back so that my ankles are now more under the thighs, not so much under the knees. You can hold the sides of the chair for support. Try not to round your shoulders or bow your head. So I like to pull the shoulders back, lead with my heart, keeping my head lifted, and just shift my weight, kind of rocking, gradually putting more weight into my feet. And as you try to press the feet into the floor, you'll feel this in your thighs. If necessary, use your hands to help, but press down into the feet and lift up. I'll adjust my monitor, and you can come to stand behind your chair. I'm going to move my chair to the side so that you can see. But I'm going to invite everybody to hold, well, actually, I'll keep my chair facing forward, so I'll be doing the same thing as you. Take a step to your right, so you're kind of at the side of your chair. Your left hand is still holding the chair for support. Feet are slightly apart. And we're going to bend the knees a little bit. As you bend your knees, check that your knees stay in line with your middle toes. So don't let the knees come closer than the ankles. Okay. Tip a little bit at the sit bone. So you're tilting, sort of leaning position or chair pose. And now, little balance challenge. We're going to lift the right foot. Right? So your weight's on your left leg, left hand holding the chair. I'm going to move a little farther from the chair so I check myself that I'm not leaning into the chair. I'm lifting into the belly, lifting that right foot, opening the knee, and now I'm going to try and bring that foot into that same position we did seated. This might be easier for you, right? Because it's not as deep an opening in the hip. So your left knee is a little bit bent, your right heel is just above the knee if you can, and you're breathing. And then just notice how much you're leaning into the chair. Right? Try taking your hand off the chair, testing your balance for a moment. Keep breathing. Good, let's all release and come up to stand. Shake leg and come around to the other side of your chair. So same thing. Okay, right hand is on the chair. Your right leg is close to the side of the chair, but a little away so that you're not going to lean into the chair. Bend both knees a little bit, pelvis tipping back. Knees are pointing towards the middle toes, not really going too much past. You don't want the knees going past the toes. You want to crease at the thigh so your hips go back in kind of a zigzag posture. Belly's hugging in, shoulders are back, head is in line with the spine, and then gradually lifting the left foot, opening that knee out as you lift the left foot off the floor and flex it, and then see if you can bring the heel above the right knee. Breathe. And just notice the two sides may feel different. Just allow yourself to breathe and hold here for a few breaths if you can. Good, and then release. Let it go. And make some easy circles with your hips. And reverse. Okay, now you're going to come behind your chair, and I'm going to move my chair to the side so you can see me in profile, but you're looking forward. Okay, so standing facing the back of your chair, come as close as you can, right? But allowing your knees to bend a little bit. So knees bending, that same beginning posture of what we did in that last balance pose. Knees are slightly bent, hips are tipping back a little bit. And then I'm going to take a big step back with my left foot. Just touch the toes to the floor. So I'm still leaning a little forward. And then I'm going to lengthen my tailbone down, draw the navel in and up, lift up through the torso. Good, keep the right knee bent. Try to stretch that left heel towards the floor. It may not go all the way down. Just give it a little stretch, stretching it down and then releasing. Stretch it down and release. Stretch and release. Good, this time, stretch and let the foot pivot slightly outward. So the sole of that left foot comes all the way onto the floor. Now notice if your hips are turning to the left, try and bring them back to face your chair. And if it's too hard to bring the heel down, that's all right. You can keep the heel lifted. It's a big stretch in the leg. The farther back you are, the more stretch too. Right knee stays bent, chest is lifted. And then this is also a bit of a balance challenge. Imagine you were pulling your legs towards each other isometrically. Lift up through your chest, shoulders hug back. Try lifting one arm up. And bring that down, lift the other arm up. Good, and bring that down. Try floating the fingers, both of the hands, up off the chair and drawing your elbows back. And then gently release. Step that left foot forward and take a moment just to breathe. Let's do the other side. So once again, bending both knees. Left foot's going to stay there. We're tipping a little bit forward. Keeping the left knee bent, we're going to reach the right toes way back, touch the ball of the foot down. Pause. Think of stretching your tailbone down, belly in. Press that right heel towards the floor and then lift. A couple of times, just reaching and lifting, reaching and lifting. Good. And now make sure your feet have are at least hip width apart width-wise. So if you need to walk your left foot a little to the left, let the right toes turn out slightly without turning your body to the right. So as you try to bring that right foot onto the floor, the whole sole, the foot is turned out, but your hips face the chair. Take a couple of breaths here. And then try lifting one arm. Bring that down, lift the other arm. Bring that down. Think of hugging isometrically with the legs, front to back, side to side, lifting up through the chest. And then if you want to try the balance, floating both hands up and pulling the elbows back and breathing. Good, let's bring both hands to the chair and step forward. Take your feet a little wider than hip width apart and start to walk both legs, both feet back away from the chair, stretching your arms as far as you can. And then tipping your hips back so we're hinged, sort of making a 90-degree angle between the legs and the torso. And breathe, stretching through the arms. Try to keep your head a little higher than your shoulders, right? So it doesn't drop below. Looking slightly forward so you don't drop the head. Knees can be a little bit bent. If that's too much stretch in your legs, just bend your knees a little bit. Take a couple of breaths here. And then gradually walk forward towards your chair. Take a big breath in, arms sweep out and up. And exhale, float the arms down and have a seat. As you come to sit, take this last minute to just lean back into the chair, let your legs relax, hands resting on your thighs. You can close your eyes. Taking a few breaths without trying to do anything. Simply allowing your breath to come and go. Inviting all the muscles of your body to let go, to release. Letting fresh oxygen flow into every cell of your body. And let's come together for our finish by getting our feet more firm on the floor, maybe using your hands on the sides of the chair to help you sit up really tall. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed. And just bring your palms together in front of your heart. So let's finish now by chanting together the sound of Om. Take a nice deep breath in. Om. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me. You're welcome to unmute yourself if you would like to say hello or you have anything to share.